tomorrow. Oh, I won't. I have to go food shopping and I'm golfing in the afternoon. Maybe I'll go Tuesday.
Are they open?
They opened last week.
You can possibly do 3 things with an entire open day.
I mean, I don't know if I
Are
have...
you too busy?
No, I have
You gotta work for 45 minutes.
very inconveniently timed things where it's like class at 8:30, and then if I go food shopping and then come back, and then I have class at 12:30, and I have golf at 3. It's like when the fuck? Like when am I supposed to go to the dispensary?
So many solutions.
12:45.
Or before you go to the grocery store.
I could do that.
There's so many windows.
No, there's no.
You
windows.
understand your group ends at the latest 12:55.
No, there's no time.
And that's 2 hours before golf.
Nope.
Where are you playing?
Just walls, no windows.
Where are you playing?
Chamois,
Chumbawamba?
And where's the weed store?
Brocktonia. It's just in the opposite direction of everything.
You're right. You should play Pennsylvania for Thursday.
Yeah. No, Tuesday.
I don't know, dude. You might have to, shower that day or something.
No.
God forbid.
No
God
windows.
forbid. One more thing to do.
Although I could go to Market Basket then. If I go to Brockton and then go to
Went
Market
to-
Basket and get back.
I went there last week.
Yeah. Maybe I'll give it a whirl. I forget what that store looks like.
The Raynham one was pretty nice. They didn't have a line. They said they do lines, but they had a lot of people in there without a line.
Yeah, so when I went in, no line. When I came out, there was a line. The other thing I'm not used to compared to Stop and Shop in Mansfield is people actually are in line in the store. So it's like, I forgot that you have to like wait for the person ahead of you to be done, then you can like walk up. So it like looks like every line's packed, but it's not. It's just everyone's so fucking far away.
Poop.
Stain.
Uganda.
Stain.
Uganda.
Wakanda?
Uganda.
Uganda go to Wakanda?
You gotta be kidding me. Need more microphone. I want that effects. My name, Jay. Pourquoi? Pourquoi, monsieur? Oui. Shook took the gas X.
Did you or did you not?
I did not. I haven't done it yet.
You bought it like last week.
I haven't been tired that
Dude, he
much.
doesn't have any time.
It's fucking just another thing. I had my one a day for men's. Can't just insert a gas X too. It's another meal. Too much.
Hold on. Hey, we're back. We gotta just get right into this. It's Jared, Bob, Dickie's here.
Yeah.
Explain this to me.
What?
We were literally just talking about this before I hit the record button. You can't take Gas X because you already take a vitamin.
That was a joke because you were saying that you couldn't possibly go to the dispensary.
Yeah, I'll give you, that's what I mean is like, because we were...
No, only one of us is allowed to make ridiculous claims.
We all make ridiculous claims all the time. No, it was like...
That's how I live my life.
Yeah, in a...
One ridiculous claim at a time.
So, you have 2 meetings tomorrow in a tea time, and you're trying to tell us that you can't possibly get to a dispensary.
No, it's no windows. No available windows.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells, by the way.
Sorry.
So that's what he was giving you shit about.
Yeah. No, I know.
Sex.
I know. I'm just messing back.
Ridiculous claim. I haven't been farting all week, so that's why I actually haven't been taking it.
So just
Until now.
hot topic. Hot take. Hot topic. LOL. Hot take.
Reasons.
Buying Gas X is just as good as actually taking it.
Well, you can't take it if you don't buy it.
Because of course, when you buy it, you just dry up.
So here's the fart.
It's the
So
ultimate placebo effect.
Phase 1 is buy the Gas X. Because everything's phases these days.
Yeah.
So phase 1 is buy it.
Yeah.
You can't get to phase 2 without phase 1.
No. And phase 2 can just occur whenever you deem necessary.
If you want to get really bureaucracy with it, bureaucratically, that's the word that I should know.
I want to teach civics.
Like stage 0 is like thinking about it. Stage 1 is going to the store. Stage 3, like
they're phases, not
Phase.
They're
stages.
phases, yeah.
Stop.
Everything, the world has to move in phases now.
Phase 10 would be buying it.
Was that part of phase 1, actually? That it said that everything needs to move in phases from now on?
I don't know, but
It's a phase 0.
everything is phases.
Oh,
Everything.
Yeah.
It's like everything doesn't need a phase.
No.
Everything doesn't need to be a phased plan.
No.
It's just a phase.
The phases. Hopefully the phases are just a phase.
Yeah.
Just a
Hopefully
phase,
it's just a phase. We're going through a phase.
Which one?
I don't know. 2? No. Are we in 2 yet?
No.
What
Massachusetts is
was I
phase
talking
1.
to? Someone was trying to explain to me and make the argument that it's a good thing that Massachusetts has 4 stages because the
They're
others.
phases, not
'Cause they
stages.
don't-
I'm sorry,
They don't,
yeah.
they don't have 5.
Well, because most other states have 3 phases. So Massachusetts having 4 was a good thing because it allows more free movement.
Yeah,
And
but
I was
stage,
like, I don't compute.
stage 4 doesn't even matter though. That's like sporting events.
No, phase.
Like that one's always gonna be.
Phase 4
They're not
is
fucking
not-
stages.
Stage 4 is canceled.
They're not stages. They're phases. Get it fucking right, Christina. Phase 4 is the new normal. We have no idea what that means, or.
We saw our first commercial on it though today.
Yeah,
From
so
Home Depot. It was the new normal.
yeah, so the new normal is the new term. It's is replaced. We're all in this together.
Yeah, and don't forget we're all in this together.
So stage 4 is gonna. Damn it.
Phase.
Phase 4 is gonna last for like a year then, because you're gonna put in sports all across the country. Schools, all that crap.
Theoretically, phase 4 is until there's a vaccine.
Oh, it isn't.
Well,
Yeah.
I think
They never get a
Because-
vaccine.
well,
They're always in
yeah.
stage
well
4.
because
Phase.
they're not gonna want because I was kind of bitching at you, in the last episode, the one before, I don't even remember anymore. Like going back to the way things were ain't happening anytime soon.
Yeah.
So this fucking phase 4 bullshit, the new normal,
Yeah.
has to be until there's a vaccine for it to go back to
Which is
pre-COVID days.
so bullshit. It's just moving the goalposts. Like the whole thing, I don't know. I know the whole stay-at-home order, I guess, has been changed, but before they came out with this whole phase program, they tried to say that we were going to have to stay home until there was a vaccine, which was moving the goalposts because originally they were like, we just need to flatten the curve.
Flatten the curve. Now
And then we
wait
did.
for a
And now,
vaccine.
but now, I feel like weird. Politicians are being sneaky about it. They came out with the phase program to still get their way, but just trick the common person into not being pissed about it.
Yeah.
Because what they were saying before they released the phase program was, well, now we all have to stay home until there's a vaccine. And then people flip the fuck out. So they're like, oh, what if we just call it arbitrarily phases with arbitrarily timed things? We'll name them phases. And then we finish phase 4 when there's a vaccine,
Which is what we want.
which is what we want anyway. So we'll just call it something different, and then we'll just give them little bits, once a month for there, and then eventually there'll be a vaccine, and then finally, we still win because that's what we wanted.
I mean, it's I thought that the whole time. It's kind of like getting fired or getting reviewed, and you're terrible at your job. They don't just go in saying, "Hey, fuck you. You're bad at this, this, and this. Get out of here." They're they ease in, I like you did. I like this part. Here's some positives. Here's some negatives.
I mean, if you're getting fired, they're just gonna tell you that you're fired.
There's that. But they don't fire you in front of everybody. I'll sit you down.
Depends on what you do.
Yeah, I don't
You
know about
can
that.
explain why you were watching porn in the office.
Have you ever been fired?
No. Yeah.
It's not usually how it goes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I feel like they just kind of tried to like trick the lay person into, because there was such that initial outrage of, like even fucking Portnoy from Barstool posted a video about it. It got so big when he was saying like, this is ridiculous. We all agreed to flatten the curve and now you're trying to keep us inside until there's a vaccine. And then literally the next week, there was the thing like, oh, the governor is going to make an announcement about the new phase program. We knew nothing about that was the whole other thing too. It's like, we're going to make an announcement about a phase program and it's going to be in phases. And it's going to be a description of a bunch of different phases that we know that they're going to be different stages and phases. Like that's like what they said. And it's like, all right, you guys are fucking ridiculous.
They were talking like Trump.
Yeah.
Just without the self pat on the backs.
Right.
Like I have the most glorious phase program made up of the best phases that I designed myself.
Yeah.
They're talking.
It's an amazing phase program. Some of the best phases you'll probably ever see.
Nothing else is like it.
Yeah.
It's one of a kind.
Yeah.
You know that I spent the time to do myself.
Yeah.
Imagine Marty Walsh and Charlie Baker just facing each other while they talk to us and patting each other on the back as they say it.
Apparently they don't really get along right now. They're not in agreement because Marty Walsh wants to keep things closed for longer, and Baker's like, all right, well, we can start opening a little bit here.
Yeah.
Baker made the announcement that Boston offices can open at 25% capacity on June 1st, which is today when this comes out.
Yep.
But Marty Walsh said 10%. So it's like
giving over percentages.
Yeah, so they're kind of like bickering a little bit on that bullshit.
If it's anything like Florida, they just threw the percentages out. They're like, just everyone come in. They did that. They just illegally, like all restaurants were just packed.
Or how about you just say like, hey, you guys can go back to work, but if you're not comfortable, you're protected, and we'll pass something that says you can't be fired because you don't want to go into the office. Like that, what's the matter with doing that?
That'd be nice, but they always say like, oh, people are gonna abuse it, like me. I would. But I don't like my job. If they told me to go back for the last 2 weeks, I would not go back.
People are dying to get back to work, like actual professionals.
Yeah. Hey.
Because we are not fucking professionals. No, we're not fucking professionals. But like,
I'm a professional unprofessional.
We are not professionals. 1, 2. I mean, I don't know, whatever. Yeah, you guys are professionals, great, professional douchebags.
I told you I'm a professional unprofessional.
But like people with kids, they can't wait to get back to work.
Oh yeah.
That's my deepest fear.
Well, that's the issue that's going on right now. Is there's rumors floating around that some schools may not go back in September.
Yeah, they think by January.
If people are going back to work in the next, 2 to 3, 4 months, that's September. Like theoretically, by September, October, like most businesses should be operating like at whatever capacity. It doesn't really matter, but like businesses should be back and running in some form by the fall. And if the kids don't go to school,
and those won't open.
What the fuck are parents supposed to do?
Well, schools weren't built for what they want it to look like. That's like the big conundrum.
Yeah, but like...
And then businesses aren't built for kids to be hanging around or working.
Well, schools were kind of invented, or I guess they became more mainstream because people were like, dude, we can't have 6-year-olds running around the factories, using them to get stuff out of small spaces. Because that's what was happening. And then they started mainstreaming schools, and then they released child labor laws to stop that and almost force kids to go to school. But then they developed the school model after factories.
Did better, yeah.
You sit in the same spot, you do something repetitively, a bell rings and you move to the next thing. You know what I mean? It's very factory based. But I mean, that's a whole, I've talked about that in the past. That's a whole other fucking bullshit thing. But that's really why schools were just kind of Yeah, we gotta do something with these kids, because we can't have them fucking stick their hands in gears and get stuck and rip their arms off at 6 years old.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring that
People
back.
are starting to get mad about this.
Well, we were talking about it
Bring less
earlier
hands around.
off the air. Like schools should have to change like dramatically now.
Yeah, I would hope, but they won't. I said this to Bill a couple weeks ago when I was talking to him, and I said, this hopefully creates an opportunity for something or someone to step up and be like, I'm going to create this type of school now that is different. Like we've talked about it before, about how like, I think it would be really cool if like major corporations sponsored schools, and essentially it was almost like charter schools. So like, you know, you have an Amazon school, like, oh, I go to the Amazon high school, and it's like, well, because Amazon makes so much money, they can afford to pay teachers more, so they get better teachers,
And they won't be
which
assholes
then
about it.
gives students a better education, which, you know what I mean, it leads to more like improvements in things. Like you can be in a better school, like Amazon can build a state-of-the-art fucking school to compete with, you know, public education, which whatever, I guess it's, I don't know, I guess you can leave public education, but the whole system's so fucking fucked up that it might be best to just fucking scrap it and then just let it be privatized. But you know, but then
It's not going anywhere.
but then no, I know it's not, but I'm saying, like, you know, using common sense, unless it needs a major overhaul is what it needs. But
All the shitty schools need to be fixed. All the good schools are good.
But then, like, as you get older, like, say you go to the Amazon-sponsored high school, well, they might offer classes that help you learn certain things, and then when you graduate high school, you get a job. Or maybe your senior year of high school, or maybe, strange fucking concept, because I don't know where this idea that you have to be in school for 12 years came from, maybe Amazon adds an extra year, and that 13th year of school is a co-op year.
Yeah.
Where, you know, now you're 18 and you work at Amazon in some capacity and you're also in school. Like, if it's owned and run and operated by a private organization, they have the freedom to do literally whatever the fuck they want. So, or like maybe, what's a big, like Advanced Auto Parts is like a major fucking thing. Like maybe they run a school.
They do the test.
And then they teach you how to do more like auto stuff. So like you graduate from that high school and now you're ready to be a mechanic. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's just different. It's a little bit outside the box. I think this whole fucking pandemic bullshit has the opportunity to create that type of situation for someone to do that. They obviously need a lot of money and the drive to do it, but I don't know, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe one of our listeners will do it if it's rich. But LeBron already kind of did it. LeBron James started his own school.
Yeah, I told you guys about IMG.
Yeah.
But
So there are things that exist kind of like that already, but I'm hoping that this kind of maybe at least lights the fire to get it bigger and better, because like the education system is completely fucked in this country. It sucks dick, but I don't know.
I like where you went with that, because I was just gonna say in the sense of like getting kids back into school, but just because of a volume standpoint. Volume's the problem. There's too many people.
Right.
But, you know, vocational schools should be okay because they go to work in shops.
Right.
They go to work. They go to school in shops.
Yeah, they do
So
the other half of
they're
the class,
bigger.
so it's not-
They're bigger, they're more spaced out, and the classes are smaller.
Right.
But dude, like, so you could take a vocational school and just use their model. Like,
Yeah.
that's all it is.
So
Like,
I don't
because you could do co-op as
we
long
might have talked about
with
this.
people who don't drive. As long as you provide transportation, you could have co-ops
Did I tell
for
you
like anyone who's 15 or
that
older.
Medford High switched to that model? They're not separate. So when we were in high school, we had a Voc,
Yeah.
and it was in the same building, but they were separate schools. And now it's not a separate school anymore. It's just Medford High. And when you're at the school, you can sign up to take shop classes. So it's because when we were in high school,
We
it
couldn't
was
do any of that.
you either
Yeah.
went to Medford High or you went to Medford Voc. Even though it was the same building, like I said,
Yeah.
it was different schools. So like kids that went to Medford High couldn't take shop classes. Like I couldn't just be like, I want to take metal fab this year and learn how to, you know what I mean? Like they didn't allow that. If you wanted to do that, you had to go to the Voc.
Your education sucked.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, Medford's bad.
But
I thought Tom was bad.
they changed
It's a bad place.
their policy now. So now anyone is open for the Voc program, which is how it should have been.
That's how
the
it always
entire
should
time.
have been.
Yeah.
Always should have been that way.
Like if
Like,
you want to sign up to take fucking automotive for half a year as an elective, like would you rather force a kid to take band and play an instrument that they fucking hate and they cause a ruckus in class every time they're there and the teacher fucking can't stand them and all the other kids in the class can't stand them, or let them take metal fab for half a year, or let them take Cosmo or electrical, you know what I mean, whatever else is there. And you can even go as far as to say in your 4 years at Medford High, you're required to have at least 2 credits of vocational work. So that would be two
It's an elective.
2 electives. So like you have to take at least 2 voc programs in 4 years. You know, like that's what it should be. Teach kids real life skills.
No, instead I took guitar.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah.
I took guitar when I already knew how to play.
Yeah,
I didn't take ceramics.
I took yearbook.
I took.
It's a class.
I was in the yearbook class. Yeah.
I took current events. We read the newspaper.
So we had contemporary issues, but contemporary issues just became a.
Let's watch movies. That's what a lot of those classes
I
became.
don't even know what we did.
I did. Tom and I had food class, and I did it all 4 years, and it got to the point where I was like serve safe, so I could be the head of like a kitchen or like have that on a plaque or whatever. Be like,
Yeah, we had
You're
culinary
fine,
at
man.
Medford High.
so we had that going.
The Vogue had culinary.
Well, yeah, no, I know. But we had a culinary
Their
program.
pizza was pretty good.
There was actually. Their pizza fucking smacked. I used to love when they would sell it in the first floor cafeteria.
I still love making the food. Eating the food. I ate my share.
But like, how that would be so much fucking better for as like a school system, like teaching kids actual skills. And like you said before, like instead of making someone go to guitar, like make them take a finance, like a personal finance.
Well, that's what I was
class.
talking about. Yeah, I was talking about that earlier. It's like
Yeah.
I mean, there's schools that do that. They just need every school to actually do it. That's really it for
Right.
public
Yeah,
schools.
exactly. So I think
They're ideal cities
I think
to do
OA does have your choice of like personal finance, accounting.
that. They got a lot.
There might be like an entrepreneur class.
They have a technology department. I know that.
Okay. And then
High
there's,
school.
and then there's like I think just like a business management or
Okay.
business administration or something.
I know most public schools now offer some sort of coding class too, because
Yeah,
that's
but-
with the whole boom. But even now, like we're getting past that.
Yeah, I took
Like it's getting sad. Like if you wanted to get into like coding and like IT and tech and stuff, you needed to do that like 7
it's
years
too late
ago.
now.
Because now it's like when we were in school and everyone was going for PT.
Yeah.
And it was like then we were probably at the tail end of that window, because you probably wanted to be in school for PT between 2006 and 2012. Because once 2012 rolled around, now everyone and their fucking mother is a PT, and there's you trip and fall and you're in a fucking PT clinic. You know, they're like Dunkin' Donuts around here. So
Funniest thing about PT at Bridgewater, we didn't even offer it.
yeah, no, I know.
Nor did anyone even get on the right track.
Right.
Actually, I had the speech memorized. I'd be outside of the advising office with Haslam.
Yeah.
I'd be sitting there, and he was an exercise science advisor. And people, what do you want to do when you get out of here? I'm thinking about PT. He goes, okay. Like, do you really want to do PT? He goes, yep. I go, yep. Okay. So here's what you need to do. This is how you set yourself up.
Right.
You need to take A&P 1 and 2, the hard one, in the biology department.
Right.
You got to take
I did that.
bio 1 and 2, the hard one, not fucking zoology.
Yeah.
Chem 1 and 2,
Right.
physics 1 and 2. You need a statistics class, abnormal psych, which I forget what the actual name for that is.
Yeah, I think it might have been abnormal psych. or clinical psych.
I forget what it was, but I think he said abnormal psych because it's the weird psych class. It's not just psychology.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, so all those 4 classes have the lab.
Yep.
Plus you need these other 2. He goes, so yeah, it's a year.
Yeah.
So, but that's what you need to do.
Right.
You think any of those people stuck with it?
No, absolutely not.
No one did it.
No one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was at Bridgewater, you were more set up for success if you were an AT major to move into PT.
Yeah, or just go with AT.
Right, exactly.
But,
You know, like we didn't offer a pre-PT thing.
no, you're in the wrong school.
Yeah, because it almost has to be pre-med. Like you have to be in a pre-med program to go that, like to be better
Well,
off.
no, you need to go to a school that offers PT. That's the fucking flaw.
Oh, yeah, that.
That's the fucking flaw. You go to a school to do something that they don't offer.
Right. Yeah, that's
Fuck you
true,
doing?
too. That's true too.
Like, you need to go to the right
going,
school.
I want to go to the advanced auto parts school. Oh, what do you want to do? I want to be an accountant.
Yeah.
Well, that's another one too. Maybe like
So go, I'm gonna be an
maybe KPMG opens a fucking high school, and then you get a school. You know what I mean? Like this. I just keep going, jumping back. I think I have a great idea with that.
Well, I think
You know you're describing college, right?
I think the problem is like kids don't
But
know
it's
what
just-
they want to do.
It's just so you're describing college,
But it's more
but
specific.
Each degree is owned by a giant in that industry.
Yeah, but it's high school.
Yeah, but how do kids know?
I know,
what
but
to do
I'm
with
just-
that?
Yeah, no, I
saying
know.
what
I know
you're
the
describing.
yeah. It is similar to a collegiate model.
Because there's other colleges, so
But even college sucks because
Yeah,
they don't teach you real life things
I know.
either.
but you know how like our internship program, you just had to do one for 135 hours.
Yeah.
Some schools, your freshman year, you have to do like 100 hours or 125 or something. Mostly observation because you don't know anything.
Right.
Second year, you got to do like 200 or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think they give you junior year off for some reason. I think that was Endicott. They did that.
Yeah.
And then your senior year was 400.
Yeah.
It was 40 hours over 10 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that was like a 15 credit class.
Yeah.
Like that's how you could do that
Right.
in college and in high school. Imagine if you get a 14-year-old kid that spends 60 hours because you can't like rides and transportation, like that's all a fucking issue.
Right.
They spend like 60 hours observing.
Yeah.
Then the next year, they actually get into it a little bit. They do like 100 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Then third year, they do like the Voc used to do, like 1 week in, 1 week out, or
Right.
2 in, 2 out, like something like that.
Right.
And then the last year, they just work.
Right.
Like you could do that.
That's how. That's the Northeastern model. That's what the Northeastern co-op program, because it's a 5-year
The
program.
5th year is just work.
And the 5th year is work.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're out in the field.
But schools could do that, and then people could actually like learn some fucking skills. God forbid.
I know.
Yeah, what happens when the kids don't want to do that, and then like
Like
parents complain?
go to
and
public school.
that works.
Yeah.
If they,
That's
Yeah.
go to public school then.
well, you're saying get rid of it.
I mean, I said that
Like,
it
get
should
rid of-
be
get rid of
gotten
more
rid
of it.
of, but it won't. Or I'm sure there'd be some fucking corporation that runs a thing that's just a shitty school because they know that kids need somewhere else to go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like some fucking, Sarcasm Speak sponsored high school. It's the high school that is essentially just a public school.
Like the jack of all trades.
You know what I mean? Like, we pay our teachers shit. The kids here don't give a fuck. The teachers are just trying to get the fuck out of there at
So you mean
2:30.
just like it is now?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Public school, like someone would do that. You know what I mean? Like, but other corporations, I would feel like would pour a little bit more money into it because they have it. But I don't know. What do I know? I'm just an asshole.
I'm an asshole.
I'm a piece of shit. So did you guys see the thing about Jimmy Fallon?
No.
This is kind of stupid.
Blackface.
Yeah. So was that 15 years ago or 20 years ago?
Time ago.
So 20 years ago, Jimmy Fallon did a skit on SNL where he pretended to be Chris Rock.
I didn't even notice it wasn't Chris Rock. I wasn't looking. So
Yeah,
Like, it
yeah.
sounds like it.
It was really good. It was a really good impression. And they're also like really good friends.
Yeah.
People dug that video up and then started shaming Jimmy Fallon for being in blackface.
It's also weird. It'd be more weird to be in whiteface.
20 years ago. Right? You made a really interesting point when you said that. If Jimmy Fallon had been pretending to be Chris Rock and was just Jimmy Fallon,
Weird.
like wouldn't that just be weird? And like,
well, then it gets into like, oh, you can't do accents, but that's not an accent. It's an impersonation of someone.
Right,
He doesn't sound
right.
like a black guy.
Also, it's a fucking
weird.
comedy show.
Yeah.
It's Saturday Night Live. It's, well, maybe not anymore, but at one time it was the biggest fucking comedy show like in the world. Like everyone fucking loves that show, or used to.
Yeah, they always go through phases.
But
Phases.
like, yeah, phases, yeah.
Well, they go through a curve of phases. They mix.
Yeah, when each phase has different stages, and there's phases.
There's no
in there.
stages.
Yeah.
There's the Chris Farley phase, and there's the no Chris Farley stage.
But yeah, so now they're ripping on Jimmy Fallon. He actually went and issued an apology.
Why?
He made a video apologizing to people. Exactly. Why? Why do people care? Also, why do people give a shit?
Why is that a big deal?
Why do people
It's comedy.
Why do people get in trouble for things that they did 20 years ago?
Yeah.
Like, are you not allowed to change your opinions
It's
at
also
all?
a different time.
Like, 20 years ago, I mean, granted, I was 8 years old, but I do not think the same way at 28 than I thought when I was 8. And I would like to think that I'm going to think very differently when I'm 48 than I am when I'm 28. Like, you're allowed to change your opinions as you go move through time. Like, it blows my fucking mind that these people are like, when this kid was 16, he said this. It's like, oh, well, how old is he now? He's 52. Like, well, do you think he still thinks that?
Well, here's my thing. So, it's an impersonation.
Right.
He was pretending to be Chris Rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
He's
very
very
specific. It's very defined.
Right. He wasn't
Trying
pretending
to
to be an obnoxious black person.
Correct. He was being Chris Rock. He was
Right.
playing a role.
Right.
Like
On
it's
a skit.
yeah, and it's like it's the same thing. I mean, Tropic Thunder would never be able to happen now.
No.
But like Tropic Thunder, the character Robert Downey Jr. played was an Australian guy playing a black guy.
Right.
Now, trust me, that would never get through now.
No.
I know it wouldn't.
No.
That doesn't mean Robert Downey Jr. is like a fucking racist bigot.
Right.
It means he played a role in a comedy movie.
Also, you know what? I think it goes to show you that fame and fortune trumps any of that shit. Because Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, and people love him, and they love Marvel, and Marvel makes so much money. He's protected. No one has ever said anything about Robert Downey Jr. Not only just that he played an entire movie in blackface, but also he was Charlie Sheen before Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
Back in the late 90s and early 2000s.
I just don't think.
And people are just like, whatever.
Young people now don't know that. Older people
Yeah.
know that.
That's fair.
I know there was some like Facebook groups and outrage about him being in blackface without them knowing, because they didn't know what the movie was about. That
That's the
did
thing.
happen,
Yeah.
but
They say
didn't
it
like
right off the
that
bat.
didn't get really
Right.
picked up. I
Just
get
as
like
a dude playing
people-
another dude.
Yeah.
people like hated blackface because we were pieces of shit 50 years ago with it, like very bad.
Yeah.
But like, if you're gonna do it respectfully, why can't there be a respectful area?
The other thing too,
Like
between
Jimmy Fallon.
blackface and impersonating a black person are two very different things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because blackface is like the 60s
Yeah.
and
You
before.
look like a black clown.
And
Right, yeah.
it's supposed to look demeaning.
It's derogatory. It's
Yeah.
very derogatory.
Right. It's designed to be that way.
Yes.
Impersonating somebody else is not the same as
Not even
blackface. So
Not even close.
when it even bothers me when people are like, "Oh, Jimmy Fallon went blackface." It's like, no.
Yeah.
He impersonated Chris Rock.
Right.
It's different.
Right.
And it was for comedy.
Right.
And at the time, did Chris Rock come out and say he's like, "I'm really disappointed in that they did that"?
No.
He probably laughed at it.
He laughed.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Well, like I said, they're actually really close friends. Like
Yeah.
they were on Saturday Night Live together.
Right.
Well, Jimmy Fallon did a impersonation of was it Mick Jagger or Keith Richards? I think it was Mick Jagger. He's not British, isn't that the same thing?
Well,
Yeah.
They're different.
well, it's the same idea. It's just it's when race gets put into it. It's
Yeah. Well, that was like a couple of years ago. So maybe we'll call it like 2 years ago, probably, before like we had like real problems to worry about. People were getting mad at comedians And the social justice, when we were like in the height of like social justice and like Me Too in like 2017, 2018, they were like getting mad at comedians, and the term they kept saying is, you're not allowed to punch down. You can only punch up.
Oh, yeah.
Which means like you can't make fun of people that are
poor
like
people or
below.
something.
Yeah. So like if you're a middle-aged white man, like you can only make fun, who theoretically that's the tip of the pyramid. You can only make fun of other middle-aged white men. You know
The
what I
white
mean?
hairs.
Yeah, no. That's fucking stupid. It's called comedy. It's fake. They're putting on a show.
Yeah.
Like even when guys go up and tell stories about like, oh, the other day, like my daughter, you're never gonna believe, like she came down the stairs and she fucking walked into the wall like a fucking idiot. Or like when like Bert Kreischer is really good at that. His comedy, he always makes fun of his daughters. He calls them fucking idiots. Like, oh, they do all kinds of stupid shit. Like, do I really think that what he's saying happens? Probably not. Like there might be some truth in it, but like that's how a joke works. Like you have something that happens to you in real life, and you're like, oh wow, that's really funny. Like I bet I could turn that into a bit. So you add bits in here, and it's like, well, it would be really funny if like, you know, her eyes were stuck shut because she got pink eye. So I'm gonna add that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that. It's
funny word.
yeah. You just add to it.
Telephone.
Yeah, it's kind of yeah.
Much funnier.
Yeah. But for people to think that like comedy is the real thing, it's like, go fuck yourself.
It's not real.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's
real.
entertainment. It's the same thing as like people that watch TV. That's my favorite thing in the world, by the way. Is when you watch TV or movies with someone, and like the people that get like really attached, they're like, oh my god, like if someone gets shot, or like if someone like something happens, they're like, I can't believe that happened. It's like, well,
I mean, it's a murder mystery.
well, it's just Leonardo DiCaprio. I know he just, you know, kind of fell into the ocean and he's a human popsicle, but like Leonardo DiCaprio is still alive.
Very
I don't know how
He's
else to
very
explain
purple.
that to you, that he's not actually dead. Like what happened? Like Denzel Washington isn't actually a piece of shit cop that steals money and then gets murdered at the end. Like he's still alive. He's a real person.
I don't like how
What you're
they
watching on
portray
TV isn't real.
Nah, it is.
Nah, everything is real. Everything you see on the internet and TV is real.
Yeah, and you should be outraged all the time.
Including WWE.
And,
That's the most real.
and everything that you see, you should be outraged by
Mm-hmm.
at all times.
I saw
And
the
you have to try
Undertaker.
and cancel it.
Saw the Undertaker burn his brother to death
Yeah.
in a casket.
Yeah.
It happened. Get
It
over
happened,
It-
yeah.
Yep.
He's on the loose. That's a murder.
Yeah.
Even though his brother's alive in the mirror.
Yeah.
It happened.
Oh yeah, he is a mayor in what, Kentucky?
I don't know.
Somewhere in
I
Kentucky?
think it's in Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah. Glenn Jacobs.
Yep. Also, I think that's, I forget which cane that is, because
I
I
always
think there were
thought-
2 canes.
I always thought he was Kane
Were
Hodder.
there?
Oh, maybe there wasn't.
No, I'm pretty sure there's just one.
Because I thought there was one behind the mask.
Yeah, I always thought the mask one was different. Like they changed him.
I think it was always Glenn Jacobs.
Maybe it was always him.
Yeah.
Dude, 7 feet, 323.
It's
Holy
probably
shit.
always him.
Yeah.
You know, find one of those everywhere.
Well, no, I know because he was my favorite wrestler. when
Yeah,
I
no,
was a kid.
he's been Kane the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
I got his autograph when I was a kid.
when Kane unmasked,
He came to like the North Shore Mall, and I stood in line to get his autograph.
I remember when Kane. Were you watching wrestling when Kane unmasked himself?
I was.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I remember that, and I was like, so talk about things not being real. I remember seeing that, and I'm like, everything I know is a lie.
Yeah.
Kane doesn't have a face.
Yeah.
He's not an actor.
I was
Yeah.
more confused.
He was
by
born in hell.
The brother dynamic of them wanting to kill each other. Then they're the tag team champions.
Yeah.
Got to kill each
I mean,
other.
that's a storyline that writes itself. It's like, oh, his evil brother comes and fucks with the Undertaker. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
so then they can feud for a while because they're both massive fucking people.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
King Bull chokeslam.
it's like, oh, well, they hate each other so much, and then it's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if they flipped? Like
Yeah.
storyline,
Full
WWE
sense.
storylines write themselves.
Yeah. But then it's like
But as a
there was
child.
that whole phase they went through where they called him the big red retard.
They did.
What?
Oh yeah. You don't remember
Who?
that? Kane.
When?
That was like
It's not PC, bro.
Hold on.
late 90s or like circa like 99, 2000, 2001.
It
Not
wasn't the
that
big
late.
red-
They
wasn't
called
the big
it
red
the-
machine.
No, they called him the big red retard.
I feel like they
No way.
They must have changed the machine. I think I remember that.
Oh, hold on.
I told you, dude. Kane was my favorite wrestler of all time.
I mean, I used to watch on
I
Saturday.
know everything about that guy. I watched every single match that he was in. I forget who did it. Was it The Undertaker or like Stone Cold?
Okay, so
I feel like
I'm on.
Stephanie
It was The Rock.
It was The Rock.
So
okay.
I'm on Reddit right now.
Yeah.
And
Cancel The Rock.
someone said the use of the word retard for Kane was used so much in 98, 99. I'm watching all those Raws now, and it's really shocking and distasteful in retrospect.
Fuck off.
Well, you know, that's okay, because this will actually give us the truth, whether his opinion is whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, it's great. I'll keep going. I wonder if WWF was partially responsible for how much that word was commonly used in that era, or if they were just responding to trends. I'm certainly aware that retardation and the term retard are commonly used medical terms at one point, but WWE's use of the word derogatorily seemed a little excessive in this era. The first comment underneath it, that's a pretty retarded thing to say. Don't go on Reddit, kids.
But yeah, no, I knew it. They used to call him the big red retard.
So I don't think I'm
That was like
I don't think
phase.
I was watching a ton back then.
That was like 98, 99.
I was watching like on
I got
Saturday mornings. I think
1999, The
Yeah.
Rock cutting a promo.
Yeah.
Because the big red retard can finally speak.
Yeah.
They can't ever speak.
Yeah.
Well, he didn't.
Hold on,
but-
we can hear. How long is the clip?
It's like 2 minutes. But I probably gotta wait for Kane to actually come out.
They bleeped it
Oh,
out.
so they did say it back then?
Yeah, he used to say it.
They used to say
Well,
it,
well,
yeah,
they
but they
used to-
bleeped it in that video.
Well, did they used to? Oh, they didn't believe it back then.
Probably not.
No, they didn't bleep because I mean, how else would I ever remember that?
I feel like there was a lot of bleeps that I couldn't recognize when I was a kid.
Yeah,
They
no,
started bleeping.
big red retard.
Why do they
That was
say
the thing.
Wow, Rock. Wow, Rock.
Yeah, we need to cancel The Rock.
If you really want to start going back into wrestlers,
Oh,
you need
yeah.
to cancel them all.
Oh yeah. Stone Cold. My favorite thing ever was the interview with Stone Cold where someone asked him about like life on the road. And they're like, oh, was it true? Like all the stories that we used to hear and all this stuff. And he goes, all I'll say to that is there's a reason why I've been married 3 times. Yeah. The stories were true.
Wow, that's
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Didn't Andre the Giant crush like an entire 30 rack like on a cross country flight?
Allegedly,
That's a barrel.
I'd say allegedly he could drink a barrel of beer.
Yeah. But I feel like it was one of those things like on a cross country flight when they were going somewhere. It was like Hulk Hogan and like Andre the Giant. They were all like hanging out, and Andre like drank, or he drank all the liquor on the plane or something like literally drank them dry.
So I'm on Thrillist,
I remember the Always Sunny
and
picture.
Always Sunny.
Yeah, the picture that they do the drinking on the plane.
That was Wade
that was
Boggs.
Wade Boggs,
Boggs,
yeah. Yeah, he drank what, 27 beers? on a
No,
flight?
he drank.
A lot.
Well, so the number is disputed,
Yeah.
but I think it was like in the 60s or something.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
So Andre the Giant admitted to drinking 119 beers in a single session.
Yeah.
He reportedly told an anesthesiologist one time it takes him 2 liters of vodka before he feels warm. Someone has confirmed witnessing Andre the Giant consume 156 beers in one night in 16-ounce cans. That's a keg.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck, that's a lot.
Barrel beer.
He was a massive human being.
Yeah, he was gigantic.
He was a giant.
Actually, I guess those 119 beers was in 6 hours.
Jesus.
Nice.
What was he, like 7'2", like 450 pounds or something like that? Or was he bigger than
I
7
think that's
feet?
bigger.
Was he like 7'5"?
I think so. I think it was like 7'6".
He was like, because whatever he had,
He had gigantism. I don't know.
Gigantic penis syndrome?
Oh yeah.
That's what I suffer from.
I pass out all the time from it.
All the blood just rushes to my penis.
7'4", 520.
520.
Yeah.
Wow.
Died at 46.
Yeah.
How big is the
He's
Big
like
Show?
a Saint Bernard.
Yeah, if you see pictures of him in his 20s, he's like,
Yeah.
he looks young, but he looks old.
Well, I mean, it's
Like,
it's like a thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like big dogs don't live that long.
Big dog.
Saint Bernards, what are the other ones? Great Danes, they live for like 6 or 7 years.
The bull, not the bull, the big bulldogs, what are those ones? I don't know. Mastiffs?
Mastiffs, yeah.
So the Big Show is between 7'2".
Mm-hmm.
Build weight 383 to 500. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no way he weighed 500 pounds.
No. Because he wasn't like, I mean, he was fucking big, but he didn't look like massive, you know?
Yeah, put me next to him.
Big Show's pretty big too.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, but he wasn't like, I feel like he wasn't like fat, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't.
He had his fat times.
Well, later on, yeah, he got big. He got fat.
He fluctuated. When he had short hair, he was fat.
Yeah, but I feel like when he first came into the league, he was
He
shredded.
looked a lot like Diesel.
Yeah.
Pretty Diesel.
Yeah. Oh, you mean Kevin Nash?
Yeah. Diesel. Diesel Razor Ramon.
No, Jamie's back. He still has the truck, the box truck.
Oh, it's Sunday. He didn't even work today.
Yeah. I wonder if he had to take that to the marina. That would be pretty funny. Wow, what were we talking about before that? I forgot. Oh, Jimmy Fallon. Oh, the other thing that we talked about real quick the other day was I saw this thing on UberFacts that, well, again, oddly enough, after this was posted, like, cities started getting set on fire and, like, people started breaking shit. But, like, literally the day before all that happened, I saw this thing on Instagram, and it said that during lockdown from March to May, all the billionaires in the United States got $433 billion richer.
I know.
They added to their debt. And
So-
I was
Where do you think most of that came from? Do you think stock market?
probably the stock market, yeah.
Or, like, obviously, billionaires. They're billionaires because there's a demand for whatever it is.
Right.
So, like, you think, like, all the CEOs aren't billionaires, but, like owners of Walmart and shit.
Right.
Business is booming for them, but...
Yeah, so like those things too, and also like you have to think and consider how much money would they have made normally? Like collectively they all made $433 billion during that time. Well, how much would they have made
in
a
the
normal
same amount of time any other
Yeah.
period of time.
Yeah. Like that's a very like cherry picked statistic to like I think piss people off.
Yeah.
Because there were a lot of comments that were like, this is outrageous. I can't believe you did. I saw one person, people are so fucking stupid. One person was like, I can't believe we gave stimulus checks to these people. And it's like,
Don't worry, you didn't.
you didn't. People are fucking stupid. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. But that was the one thing I thought of too, was like, well, how much would they have normally made during that time?
Yeah.
I know there was like wasn't there an increase or something, like a percentile?
Yeah, because like, what if normally, I don't know how many billionaires there are, but let's just say there's like,
Thousands?
I was gonna say like 150. Like, if there's 150 of them, and normally maybe they would have made like $1 trillion collectively. Like, what if 433 billion is like a massive reduction in their output?
I'm just gonna put this out there. There's a lot more billionaires than I think you're giving credit to.
Yeah, I mean, I was just picking.
It's like 1,000 or 2,000.
Okay. Well, I was also gonna say,
Well, also
just
just
about-
in the U.S.
yeah, but just about every sports team is owned by a billionaire.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
And then, never mind, you have billionaire athletes. There's only a few of them I know. There's like 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah.
But never mind, then you get into like the Bill Gateses.
621 in the U.S.
That's it?
Yeah.
In the US,
Really?
621. In the world, I don't know.
That seems low to me.
There's that thing with what's his name? Amazon's guy.
Bezos.
Bezos.
He made a shit ton of money. He's on track to be a trillionaire. So
He might have made.
he's
He
like
might
a-
have. He might have made all of that.
He's the whole.
Yeah.
He's that one.
Yeah.
He could. He realistically could have made all of that money.
Oh yeah, yeah. Amazon is well. The other thing, so then, because I continue to read the comments, the some people were saying, because someone said like Amazon or whatever, and then someone goes, yeah, what did you think people were doing when they weren't at work anymore?
Shopping.
They're sitting at home. They're shopping online on Amazon.
Yeah.
You said 434 billion.
Yeah.
What?
It's all zeros. Hold on.
There's 2,153 total in the world. So 2,100.
Is that 434 billion? I've never used that many zeros.
Yes.
Okay. So theoretically, each one could have made 700 million in that time.
Yeah.
And that covers that amount.
Yep.
Is 700 million a lot for a billionaire?
Yeah, I would say it's,
Well,
No,
it's
but
roughly,
so here's the other
roughly
thing.
70% of their net worth.
I did the math out for Rogan.
So that would be like $150 for me.
for Rogan's thing where he gets 200 million.
Yeah.
If he gave me like $200, that'd be the same. No, if he gave me $2 million, it'd be the same as like $200.
Yeah.
Paycheck wise, I think that was it.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
So it's like a little check.
430. As sickening as it is, 434 billion might not be that much.
Yeah.
Like think about like Warren Buffett.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like think about real. Like I'm talking real billionaires, not.
Not the
Like-
guy that just hit it.
Yeah, not like Tiger Woods and Michael Jordan. They like hit it not too long ago, so
Right.
they might be like
They don't
a few.
They don't fluctuate.
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the guy that has like multiple. Like if the guy who loses $1 billion and doesn't notice,
Yeah. It's Jeff Bezos.
making 434 probably isn't that hard.
Yeah.
As sickening as that is.
I know.
You make most of that off interest.
Yeah, like banks, like big guys that like run the banks. Like
Conglomerates.
they probably make ridiculous amounts of money.
Sad now. I want to be rich. It's a hot take.
Dude, I wish I could be rich.
Cool.
What would you do with your money? Would you just give it to me?
You see everything I
Probably,
do
right?
now? I would do the same thing, but someone else would make the food and like, make me move.
Someone would move me. Just come in and move my
Move me.
limbs.
Work on my bicep for me. It's feeling a little.
I would, truthfully, I'd probably be Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I would play 36 holes of golf every single day.
Yeah.
I'd probably be gambling while I do it.
Yeah.
Actually, I heard a good gambling story. Remind me of that.
Ripping cigars.
Yeah, and yeah, that's what I would do. And I don't give a fuck how boring that fucking is.
Yeah.
I would do it.
Cause I got $1 billion.
Well, I'm gonna have multiple billions. 'Cause
Yeah.
we're talking about real people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just hanging out.
So I was playing with a guy the other day, and he caddies at a course, a private course with like real money. But he was saying there's a guy there that plays for no less than $5,000 a hole.
Wow.
But also makes side bets, like throughout, like, hey, I bet you won't make that putt, like stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Pays all cash. So I was just thinking about that, you know.
Actually, do you have
So you roll into
So I was thinking
a
about
golf
that.
course.
Because if you're
carrying
paying
multiple thousands.
if you're paying
See the briefcase?
$5,000 a hole,
Yeah.
Where's this briefcase?
there is potential that you lose every hole.
Yeah.
And if you're paying cash, you need to be prepared with $90,000.
Yeah.
$90,000.
Plus side bets.
Now, yeah, that's just the 18 holes. Now that doesn't happen. So the kid was telling me he carries like 25 grand in his golf bag, cash.
Where's this golf bag exactly?
Yeah.
Don't worry, you won't be getting your hands on it.
That's insane.
Imagine that. You carry.
Does he need a caddy? Because I need a sugar mama.
Well, you see, the funny thing is the caddy doesn't make anything.
Right.
No, because you don't. The caddies don't make more because the person has more net worth.
Yeah,
Caddies
they-
make what caddies make.
Right.
I want to be his
They-
personal one where he
they
just
live
throws
off
money
tips.
at me.
Yeah, he's probably got someone.
Yeah. That's
the thing is, like, recreational golfers, they don't have Joe LaCava, like Tiger's caddy, where Joe LaCava just stays at home until Tiger's ready to play. Like, they go to the course, and it's like, oh, Jared's here? Hey, yeah, Jared, I'll take you today. And then you're, like, looking around, it's like, oh, yeah, just give me whoever today. Doesn't matter. Just give me someone who's just going to shut up and keep up. Like,
yeah. That is a pretty sweet job, to be Joe LaCava.
Yeah, just Tiger's caddy.
You're Tiger's caddy.
I mean, you have to be, there's a baseline of good that you have to be.
Right.
But after that, like, if you are good, then you get the job, and then it's like,
right.
Well, sick, I just don't piss them off, and
yeah.
we're good.
Yeah.
Be the best caddy. Which one's a 9-iron again?
Wait, is this a 6 or a 9?
It's a 6 or a 9.
Is this what a putter looks like? I forgot.
Hand him the driver.
I genuinely forgot when we went. I was like, which one's the putter? Fuck.
So go, let me.
I couldn't find it.
Like, oh, where's my wedge? Oh, I think I left it on a green, like, 13 holes ago.
Yeah.
When I caddied at Winchester, it was like, that was, you did not lose clubs because guess what?
Yeah.
Start running.
You're going to get them.
You are running back to get that club.
Oh, yeah.
Because they need it now.
Yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, definitely don't club up and just take something off the swing.
It's not about that. It's about you fucking forgot the fucking
Well,
club.
yeah, no, I know.
Way to go is club down and hit harder.
Because then the other thing too, it's like while you like you better hurry up because if you need to go get the club,
right?
Who's gonna carry the bag?
Yeah,
ain't not gonna be the golfer.
No, definitely not.
Just throw it on the ground. Fuck him. He's got a lot of money.
No, well you leave it. I mean, it has a stand.
Yeah.
Just, no, you throw it down. You say like
Spike
I have worth.
You snap his driver over your knee.
It's good. That's great.
I would not make a good caddy.
Here, you lost that club too. Fuck you.
It's like tin cups just start breaking off.
Yeah,
Fucking.
yeah.
I think it leans a little to the left. Yeah, you don't even think that because you're not wearing a shoe.
All I need is a 7-iron.
Yeah, or a McAvoy. I made par on the back with a 7-iron. Why?
Do we want to start wrapping this up?
Is it that time?
Yeah, that was quick. Felt fast.
All right, so I know I brought this up before. Ooh, I don't know if I want to do that.
Just do it, Nike.
No, I'm pivoting. I didn't bring this up before.
Hard pivot.
Favorite moments from the riot so far.
Oh yeah.
My number one is the woman in the wheelchair holding the knife, getting blasted with the fire extinguisher.
Yeah. My favorite has got to be the random white guy running out of Target carrying a box of Legos while it was being fucking destroyed.
That was good. So my second one was the leaf blower. It's the defense against tear gas.
Oh shit!
You just sit there and just blow the tear gas away.
It's the reverse card.
Now that's old news. Now,
yeah.
Someone sent me, but it's my favorite moment because I saw it.
Yeah.
Because of the riots.
Yeah.
Guys just literally sitting there, just blowing the tear gas away.
It's genius.
I also like the guy who had a Sawzall in Target and was cutting up the self-checkout machine.
I saw the same thing, but the hammer hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the same video.
The same guy. It's probably
No, it's probably the same video because it's like one guy's smashing one of them, the other guy has a Sawzall just going to it, fucking getting the cash box.
Yeah, it's like what the fuck. Also, what is the point of rioting? Like you're destroying shit and you're burning stuff.
Well, so what's coming out now is
it's
the Antifa shit.
Antifa people are the ones that do it.
And that's what they want. They want chaos and anarchy, like that. So that's why they're doing it. Because like I woke up this morning, fucking still shit faced from last night. Yeah. So I was like trying to get my fucking wits about me anyway. But I'm seeing everyone's talking about that. Like, oh look, another random delivery of bricks.
Yeah.
They're just dropping pallets of bricks in the riot sites.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and people are like, oh, don't fall for this one. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why would people drop off bricks? Why would the rioters not want it? Like, oh, someone behind the scenes is trying to incite more violence.
And if you just have a pallet of bricks sitting there in the city where there's a protest and things happen to get heated, But now we have pallet bricks.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a well-meaning person. It's like someone will steal the bricks. If they steal a brick, they're really heavy. They can't steal anything else of value. Oh, I got a brick.
You're right. Until they take that brick and fucking throw it through something.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna take it home.
Fourth, J.R. Smith kicking the hell out of someone who.
I literally just saw that before we got
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
So someone broke his window on his car, and
Yeah.
he absolutely kicked the ever living shit out of this dude.
Yeah.
He fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't do that to him. He's a big and
He's huge.
stupid.
You know, that's the thing, because it's like he's not that big on a basketball court.
Yeah, it's because everyone else is.
Because everyone else is fucking huge, but like he was
Probably
fucking.
the average size of an NBA player is probably like 6'6".
Yeah, and he probably is. It's
Yeah.
like
He's an outrunner too. He's
Yeah.
legs and he's running down the court.
Yeah.
he fucking fucked this dude up.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's hilarious.
I think that's my four moments from all this.
Yeah. I like the Lego guy.
The Lego guy.
Because I think that's what was happening in the picture. Like someone is cutting the checkout, the self-checkout
Yeah.
thing. And like they're just destroying, everything is being destroyed. And then in the back right corner, because it's from a surveillance video, there's a guy clutching a fucking box of Legos. A white guy with a mask on as he's running out the door.
Well, it's like the woman who was leaving with 2 lamps.
Yeah, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I like to think those people were gonna go to the store like the next day, and they're like, "No, fuck this! They're gonna fuck up my whole plan," and they just got it. They got it when they have.
They're probably gonna get caught too, because it's probably in like their online cart. Like
Yeah,
yeah.
Literally, fuck.
Or they just find a way to use facial recognition to figure out who.
They're working on it
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Fucking fucked up.
Kind of cross-eyed.
Yeah. I saw. So this sucks, but it was like an elderly woman and her husband were like trying to prevent looters from coming into their like
Yeah.
store. I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
And it was like they were using like 2x4s, and they fucking like hit these people. It's like that's
Well, someone posted a video of in Dallas. There was a store owner. Now, granted, he came out of his store with a machete, but these people were like destroying his business.
yeah.
So he comes out. They murdered him. They beat him to death in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
That's about right.
But like one of the guys that was in the group, he was like completely covered, like
Yeah.
hood on, full face covering. It's like, dude, you're not finding that guy.
Right. Right.
I mean, I don't body shape and location.
Yeah.
Dude, good luck.
Yeah.
But,
Someone's got a murder on their hands.
Yeah.
well,
It's so because I haven't. Well, that video just popped up, but I haven't watched the original. I won't watch it. I have no desire to watch someone be fucking choked to death.
Oh, the actual video.
Yeah, I have no need to watch it. But the one in Dallas where they were beating someone put it on their story, so it just popped up while I was scrolling through. So I saw that and I was like, this is disgusting.
I wasn't ready for that.
And it's literally like a group of people like kicking this guy, and then he's like, I can't even describe like the way his body was positioned on the ground because he was contorted. He was
when
dead.
people die, it's
He
so
was
unnatural.
beat to death.
Yeah.
And then he's there, and then people start to scatter, and one other person comes over and just winds up and fucking kicks him, and then runs. And I'm like, what? Like, what is wrong with people?
Well, so now some of the theories are that this shit is being paid for.
Yeah. George Soros.
Yeah.
Oh damn it! He's running the Illuminati.
Yeah. I don't know. Fucking fucked up.
Yeah.
It's funny, you know, you can't even like protest something now without people fucking it up.
I know.
Can't even have a good cause.
Nope.
Oh, I don't want to get killed for violent, like.
No, it's
police
like I'm
brutality
gonna stand up for
bad
some shit I believe in, and then it's like,
Right.
You're the
okay,
asshole.
here are a bunch of assholes that are just gonna start fucking looting places.
I would like to think, now this is sort of somewhat conspiratorial, but whatever. But I would like to think that most of the people that showed up to those protests were there to legitimately protest.
That's what I mean. So
And it was this little group,
yeah,
like the people that incited the riots is what I'm trying to say is I don't think they were there for the protest. I think they were there literally
to incite a riot.
just to incite a riot.
And that's what I mean. There's so many people there that want to be there for the cause,
Right.
and then you have another fucking group of people just fucking it all up.
Right, right. And now, because people are humans, and it's just human nature, if there's a small group of people that come to incite a riot, some of the people that were there for the right cause will join just because that's how people are. But
advantage.
it's that group, it's like group anonymity or something that it's called. It's like a psychological
herd
thing.
mentality.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Fucking annoying.
It's like you could be like a regular average person, and then because there's a riot going on,
Now you're a rioter.
Well, it's like the shit that happens at sports games. Like at a championship, some guy gets beat to death by two assholes.
Yeah.
Like, and then, they were just hyped up for their team that they were representing. Like, fuck you, you're a dickhead.
Right. Giants. Dodger fans.
Yeah.
Is that the one who did that recently?
Yeah, I was. I know. Like, it's funny. I know someone who's a Giants fan. He actually grew up out there, and he's like, "Yeah, Dodgers fans, real great." Because I asked him like, "Who you rooting for?" when the Red Sox were in. He goes, "How do you root for the Dodgers?" He goes, "They literally came to our park, borderline killed a guy, and now he's like fucking fucked up for the rest of his life." He goes, "And every year there's a fucking fight like this."
Yeah.
And it's always fucking Dodger fans.
That's not herd mentality bullshit.
Yeah, it's weird, but it happens. I guess it's part of the world.
I think you're saying it's part of the game.
No. It's part of the world. It's not like a good part, but it's a reality, unfortunately. Yeah. Do you have a final thought?
Guess it might be. It's about me donating blood, No, it's to move back to coronavirus. I've been more internally, like, because I don't talk all the time now. I don't have kids in front of me where I talk for hours on end. So everything's internal now. So I think that's making me more of a little bitch, naturally, because like I overthink things. So like I go to donate blood, I get the little pinprick, and as that happens, in my head I just go, "Oh, it hurts. I don't want to do this now." Like little things like that, and it's a joke in my mind, but there's some truth behind it. But I donated blood, and right before that happened, like, I don't know if it's wearing the mask that did it, but like no one really, like, and I have the app where it says it's my first time. Everyone's acting like it's my first time donating blood, so they're really careful with me. Maybe it's because they can't see my mouth and my mannerisms that I don't really care that much.
Right.
But if that ever happens to you, like people are like nervous for you when you're not nervous.
Yeah.
You get nervous.
Oh yeah, all the time. You know what that happened?
Out.
That's happened to me a bunch at the dentist.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're getting your teeth cleaned, or like they're like doing some whatever to your teeth, and they're like, "Are you okay?" Like, yeah. Like, are you sure? Are you tense? Like sometimes they'll ask. They're like, "Are you tense?" And I'm like, "No."
Are you sure? We see a lot of red.
Your hands are in my mouth. Like, just do what you need to do.
I trust you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this got worse when I was sitting there waiting at that point for the person, and then internally again, I get the lady to call me over. "Oh, Asian lady, good. She's an overweight Asian lady though. A little rare. That's weird." I'm balancing the trust of this stranger based on her looks.
Yeah.
Then I sit down and she goes, "Verify your date of birth." So I go 8790. Oh, 8690. 86 whatever. That's my daughter. And I'm like, "Oh yeah." And it's just, then she pulls up her sleeve and shows a tattoo of a lion and stuff like that. "Oh yeah, lion, Leo." She says, "Yeah, Leo," and she says something about Leos.
Oh yeah.
And how they are.
Oh.
And then I was like, "Oh no." Mixing medical profession with astrology. Now I have no confidence. And I was right the whole time, because when she stuck the needle, she did it wrong. Like she didn't get it wrong enough to miss.
Yeah.
But she put it in so it was uncomfortable and it hurt the whole time. Like every time I didn't squeeze enough or I squeezed too much.
Right.
Pain.
Yeah.
And then I'll hold my head that whole time, just thinking like, I don't know if I was being a little bitch the whole time, or if this is now verified because she sucks. I hate this.
I haven't donated blood in so long.
That's the most unpleasant times this time. I've never had it bad before.
I was probably like 24, so it was like 4 years ago. It was the last time I donated blood.
Yeah. I don't like it. It's a 2-day ordeal of me just having the cravings that I can't fulfill. It gets to me. Like last night, or like yesterday, right before the nighttime area, I had dinner. And
It was
dusk. Yeah, that's the word. It was dusk. And I tried to eat, and I was so full, I just kept eating. But I still had the internal craving.
Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta throw up or something. But I gotta keep eating. So I ate dinner, then I ate all the fruit I had, then I ate ice cream. It's like, nothing's making me feel good. Stupid blood loss.
Yeah, blood loss will fuck you up, but at least you get to eat cookies after.
There was that. Oh my god, that cookie still looks sick.
Yeah.
That's great.
All right. Do I want to go into this? Maybe not. I'm gonna skip that. I'm gonna table the coronavirus thing. We'll talk about it the next show. But my final thought is I really fucking hope the MLB doesn't come back this year.
Just because you don't want it?
Well, no, because they're both sides are being real huge bitches about the whole thing.
Yeah.
So like I understand. Like I'm not completely unreasonable about the players not being happy with taking a pay cut in their salary, but the way they're going about it is just ridiculous because they're like, I signed the deal. This is the money I need to be paid. I'm not willing to pay for anything less. But it's like, if you had an agreed upon the money that, like, a contract for you to work over a certain amount of time, but now something happened and now you can only complete 50% of that contract,
you get 50%.
You get 50% of the pay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like it just seems like normal to me.
Yeah, like if we're teachers.
But I understand that they live at different levels in life and like they rely on money still because they because I make way less money, my bills are less, even though fucking it feels like a lot to me. But like their bills probably are way, like proportional for them. You know what I mean?
Nice guys.
But at the same time, like they have to realize that the average American, like the people that buy your fucking tickets and pay a part of your salary with whatever it is, jersey sales or hats or like whatever, apparel and ticket sales and then concessions at the fucking place, it's like, to the average American, like that doesn't sound good when you're complaining about only making $430,000 a year when you wanted to make $1.5 million. Because like the average person in America probably makes $50,000 a year, and they look at that like, well, that guy's a fucking dickhead. He doesn't want to pay. Because what's the first thing that people say every time that comes up? I would play a season for $450,000.
Yeah. Of course.
It's like, well, yeah, of course you would, because that's like 3.5 times what you make right now. Yeah, of course you would. But yeah. But like, you just have to. The players just they're not able to like realize that.
So the owners are trying to fuck them a little bit though.
No, I know that too. That's what I mean. I said
it's like the revenue sharing.
The thing I said at the very beginning, both sides are being huge cunts about the thing, and I honestly hope that it just doesn't fucking play. Fine, don't play this year.
That's the thing. Just pay them for the games they play.
Yeah.
Oh, but we don't have fans.
And if it gets down to the part where they don't play, like, oh, you just don't feel comfortable playing, so we'll have someone else play in your position. There's a AAA team.
Right.
I'll say there's plenty of scabs around, but that union's strong though. That union is real strong. Yeah. Like they even thought like with some of the info coming out, like the younger guys would be like, oh yeah, well I'll take the pay cut because it's something. Yeah. I guess they're not, the younger guys, like people who don't make much, they're not even on board.
Right.
No, the owners are raking them over, and it's like, well, here's the thing: if you have guys under contract and they play baseball for that contract, and you ask them to play baseball, you need to give them the money.
Right.
Whether it's half because you only play half a season,
right,
or whatever, you need to give them the amount of money you need to give them. It's not their fucking fault that they can't have fans. Right. If it's that big of a problem, sell the team.
Yeah.
Someone will buy it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You're going to lose that much money, sell the team.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm also really interested and excited to see what would happen if the MLB sits out a whole year. Because, like, obviously everyone talks about, the strike year in '94. The next year, ticket sales were way down. But, because everyone keeps talking about that baseball is going to die. I mean, it is a dying sport, and this definitely isn't going to help it. But it's not just going to, like, disappear.
Yeah.
Like if they don't play professional baseball next year, it's not like the league is going to go bankrupt and then next year there's also not there's never going to be baseball ever again.
There's still there's professional lacrosse. I taught with a douchebag that played professional lacrosse. So
there's professional fucking dart throwing.
Ultimate frisbee.
Yeah, like you can have it. Like the sport isn't going anywhere. Like, will it still be one of like the big four and like one of the major sports? I don't know, maybe not. But like even if maybe not, that's still like 15 years from now. You know, like that's.
I'm telling you right now, people who like baseball, so it's not going anywhere. People are going nuts for KBO in Chinese Taipei, like
right.
the Taiwanese league. I'm telling you, it's out there.
Yeah.
Move it to their countries.
Well, no, they're not gonna.
Oh, well,
Watch it here.
Yeah.
ESPN needs content, so they'll keep airing it.
Right.
That's true.
Very simple.
Yeah. So that's it for me. That's my thoughts on the MLB bullshit. Because I want to see I just really want to see how bad it fucks up the sport.
Legal sports betting will bring it back.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's a good sports bet on.
Corona. It's also it's the only sport to bet on for a while. It's legal sports betting in the country will keep it. It'll save it.
Yeah, we need that shit to come back too, or I guess be instituted initially.
Not coming
here. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for watching on YouTube, and thanks for listening wherever you are. People are starting to go back to work. I can tell. Either that, or we actually are getting more popular. Because our listening numbers are starting to go back up in the last couple of weeks. People are, driving to work again. Because that's usually the only time I listen to podcasts, when I'm driving to and from work.
I only see the correlation that I'm on it right now.
Yeah, it's weird. Ever since you joined the show, our numbers have, initially our numbers plummeted. But now they're starting to rebound.
I'm what the people want.
You're kind of like the stock market.
I finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pulse just turns off.
Just the Red Cross lady didn't.
Yeah.
She couldn't find your pulse. Keep spreading the word. Keep telling everybody about the show. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. Twitter is Sarcasm_Speaks. Facebook Sarcasm Speaks. And until next time, good night.
My blood pressure is 106/60. Is that bad?
That's super low.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's not done that way before.
That's just off.
You also, was it the same lady?
No.
Because she could just really suck at her job.
Nah,